And good morning, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is what I call my morning musings. I'm sharing with you some thoughts on what's known as the already but the not yet. We've been spending a good little bit of time on the new creation because Isaiah 65 serves as the seminal text for us to understand that doctrine. One of the things that I think it's important for us to be able to see is the covenantal nature of the new heaven and the new earth. Now, in all three futurist eschatologies, there is one of two views taken about the new heaven and the new earth. I was raised in what is known as the amillennial world. The dominant view of my former fellowship was, well, one of these days, the Lord's going to come out of heaven, riding on a cloud, going to burn up the earth, burn up every element in the universe, completely annihilate the physical creation, and everyone will be taken either to heaven or to hell. And so the term, new heaven and new earth, is just a spiritual term to talk about the new dwelling place of mankind, either heaven or hell. A more dominant view, held by Reformed, held by dispensationalists in one form or another, and even by an awful lot of amillennialists, is that at the coming of Christ, at the end of human history, the Lord does renovate. He does not totally annihilate the material creation, but what he does do is he recreates physical creation. This was the view of Joel McDermott in our debate in July of 2012. It was the view of Steve Gregg in my debate with him in 2013. And it is a very dominant view that God must restore the current physical creation. Now, that does not mean that he will not purge it with fire, but after purging it with fire, he recreates it into the Edenic type state that we see in Genesis. The failure to see the covenantal nature, however, of the promises of the new heaven and new earth leads directly to these false concepts. The Bible does not predict either the destruction of the literal physical creation, and the Bible does not predict the restoration or recreation of literal physical dirt. We're not looking for, properly biblically understood, we're not looking for the restoration, somehow the remaking of bugs, slugs, and mosquitoes into better bugs, slugs, and mosquitoes. All right? Now, this is demonstrated in a variety of different ways. But Isaiah 51, which is one of those new creation texts, even though it does not specifically use that term, but Isaiah 51 predicts the destruction of heaven and earth. Notice how God ties covenant with the passing of heaven and earth. Isaiah 51, 4 and following. Listen to me, my people. Give ear to me, O my nation. For a law will proceed from me, and I will make justice rest as a light of the peoples. My righteousness is near, will be near, literally. My salvation is gone forth. My arms will judge the peoples. The coastlands will wait upon me, and on my arm they will trust. Now look, he's talking about the coming of the new covenant. Watch. Lift up your eyes to the heavens. Look on the earth beneath. For the heavens will vanish away like smoke. The earth will grow old like a garment. Those who dwell in it will die in like manner. But my salvation will be forever, and my righteousness will not be abolished. So in some way, somehow, covenant and the passing of heaven and earth are directly related, and with the passing of heaven and earth, God's righteousness is established. Reminds us of 2 Peter chapter 3, doesn't it? But notice now, as God predicts what would be in this world of righteousness, he specifically identifies this heaven and earth that's going to come out of the destruction of the old heaven and earth as a covenant heaven and earth. Isaiah 51:15 and following. I am the Lord your God. Now, remember, God is predicting the future creation here, the future salvation of Israel, the future salvation of his people, the offering of salvation to the nations, etc. And notice what he says. I am the Lord your God, who divided the sea, whose waves roared. The Lord of hosts is his name. He reminds Israel of his great work in the past when he gave them his covenant, when he created them as his people. Now watch. I have put my words in your mouth. I have covered you with the shadow of my hand. Now watch. That is a causative statement or word. It says, here's why I will put my words in your mouth. Here is why I will cover you with the shadow of my hand, that I may plant the heavens, lay the foundations of the earth, and say to Zion, you are my people. Oh, whoa, hang on here. God is saying he was going to create heaven and earth by giving the new covenant. And by the way, this is confirmed when he says, and to say to Zion, you are my people. You see, in the Old Testament, we have two Zions. We have old earthly Zion that was to pass away, to be destroyed. And we have the heavenly Zion, spiritual Zion, which is the church of the living God, according to Hebrews chapter 12, 21 and following. All throughout the Old Testament and the New, there's a contrast between the old earthly Jerusalem/Zion and the heavenly spiritual Zion. But here's the point. God says in Isaiah 51, one heaven and earth was going to pass away. He was going to create a new heaven and earth, but how was he going to create that heaven and earth? By putting his words in the hearts and the minds of this people that he was going to create. This is covenant eschatology. It's the passing of the old covenant, the making of a new covenant, and in the making of the new covenant, he says, I'm going to put my word in your mouth and your hearts and in your minds, that, remember the word, that I may plant or establish the heaven and lay the foundation of the earth. Folks, here's the new creation being defined as the giving of the new covenant. Powerful stuff. I discuss this and a whole lot more in my book, The Elements Shall Melt with Fervent Heat. Go to my website, www.eschatology.org or BibleProphecy.com. Order the book. Say, tell me that you saw the offer on YouTube or on Facebook. I'll refund your shipping. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you on the flip side.